your sister and let her know. War of the Roses is starting right now on KDWB.
All right, I'll be honest with you. Kind of a different War of the Roses this week because Fallon's on vacation. Guess what? For the first time in the history of the War of the Roses, it's just me, Dave, doing War of the Roses. Well, that's not exactly true because what would War of the Roses be without somebody who's wondering whether their partner is cheating? And that's where Christina comes in. Christina, how are you?
I'm well. How are you doing?
I'm okay. Kind of wondering how War of the Roses is going to sound with just me and you. You've heard War of the Roses before, but you've never thought you would be the one calling in, I'm going to guess, right?
Definitely not.
Definitely not. What is it about you and TJ that you want to do War of the Roses with?
It's all so bizarre and so strange. So probably like 8 months ago, he started getting crazy jealous.
Okay.
Like insanely jealous. Like I would be at work and working with my coworkers and you know, we'd sometimes go for, you know, a happy hour afterwards and he would say, where have you been? You know, like, where have you been all day at work?
Right.
And then he, you know, made it up in his head. He started going through my phone. He started getting really paranoid and he made it up in his head that I was having this affair with a coworker who I was working on a project with who is in a relationship of his own. You know, the coworker and I were completely platonic. It was almost ridiculous that he would even, you know, assume that. Saw a text message about a work meeting that we had during the day. So he had texted my phone and TJ just completely took that as we were having some affair and actually texted my coworker, like threatening things.
Oh my God. So he saw this guy's message in your phone, on your phone.
It was about work.
About work. So then
we need to meet at 8:30, you know, a.m.
So then did he call the guy? Did he call the coworker or text him?
Well, first he texted him and then he called and left kind of like a crazy message, like stay away from.
Oh God.
I know. It was.
Now, let me ask you a question.
Appropriate and embarrassing.
Because I think that if anybody's listening to you right now, they're saying, Christina, you're a smart girl. We hope, we would imagine, we're going to give you the benefit of the doubt. Why would you put up with a guy who does things like that? I mean, some people have a little bit of a jealous streak, but calling a coworker, and I mean, that can end up costing you your job eventually if he ends up getting jealous of your boss. And, you know, if your boss happens to be a guy and he's like, hey, why are you texting my girlfriend? I mean, the boss might be like, okay, done with her. So we want to know, why are you staying with this guy that seems to be a little bit too possessive, controlling?
Well, he promised that he'd work on it, you know. I called him out for it, and he was, you know, he knows he acted wrong. He knows that he, you know, made assumptions that weren't true, and, you know, he promised me that he was going to work on it.
Okay.
He recognized that he has a problem, like a jealous problem, but that he promised me that it wouldn't happen again. He promised me he'd work on it. And that actually wasn't the worst thing that he did. The worst thing that he did was when I was, after this incident, invited to a bachelorette party, and he insisted that he come with me because he didn't trust me.
Wait, okay, I kind of... So you were invited to a bachelorette party?
Yeah.
And did he go along with, or did he...
Yeah.
He did go with?
Yes. He was just not in a good mental place and just did not want me going alone. And I didn't care that much. I didn't even care. I was like, fine. If you want to come, just come.
No. I mean, I don't know anything about bachelorette parties. I've never been on one. But I think that's what the point is the guys are left behind and the girls go out and do like one more night out with the girls to get crazy, supposedly. So I'm going to guess that he was the biggest third wheel of all time. How did the bachelorette party go when he came along?
We didn't, I mean, TJ and I didn't really stay that long. And, you know, I knew that, like, if he was going to be a third wheel, I was just going to kind of, like, get out a little bit early to not ruin my girlfriend's night. And she understood. And she kind of knows what we've been going through, so.
So you show up with this guy at the bachelorette party. And what did he do the whole time? Did he have a good time, or did he sit there and check his phone, or, like, with his arms foldedly and being bored and mad, or what did he do?
It was a little awkward. I think he tried to have a good time, but the whole situation was so awkward that honestly, I was like, TJ, we got to go. So we left. I kind of dragged him out of there. It was, kind of embarrassing.
Oh, my God. You know what? I'm going to guess that right now, hundreds of women and guys around the Twin Cities are texting or thinking, get rid of this guy. Because if he's trying to work, I mean, getting better and going from a 10 on the crazy scale to an 8 on the crazy scale is still an 8 on the crazy scale. So,
yeah.
but tell me about what prompts you to want to do War of the Roses. And I've been talking to you for a long time, but what is it that finally happened 1 week ago that makes you go, all right, time to do War of the Roses?
Well, he pretty much out of the blue left me. I checked his phone because it was just like next to me. And, sometimes you kind of get the urges too. And meanwhile, this has been like the most jealous guy of all time. And I wasn't even checking his phone like to try to find something dirty. Mine was charging in the other room and I needed to like use a calculator. So I grabbed his phone. I knew his password. I put it in. I was using his calculator.
I don't buy that story, but okay. Okay.
And was accusing me of like looking through his phone, which he's done that to me. Like, we're dealing with like, the most jealous person in the universe. And I was like, no, I showed him. I was like, look, I was using your calculator. Like, calm down.
Yeah, I don't buy that.
And he up and like packed his stuff and just completely left. And this is for this kind of a person who's so jealous makes no sense. And I think he's with someone or has met someone.
So you haven't heard from him. I mean, not a peep since then.
No, nothing.
You've texted, you've called. What happened?
Yep. Just like radio silence, really. Like nothing. He
Nothing.
Just will not answer me. No. Just
no
like
text message. Phone goes to voicemail. Nothing.
Yep. Nothing. Like complete screen.
What do you see on his Facebook? Has he updated like, I'm mad at Christina or Christina and I?
It's kind of nothing. It's
nothing.
like he's not updated anything. No.
Nothing on Facebook. No Twitter, no Instagram, no Snapchat, nothing.
No activity.
All right. We're going to call this guy, and we're going to get to the bottom of this. We're going to see if he's got a chance to send roses to somebody, who he'll send roses to. If it's not you, okay, well, then who's it going to be? And then you'll find out whether he's with somebody and whether he used that as... Okay, I gotcha.
Back to Dave Ryan's War of the Roses on KDWB.
Back to part 2, War of the Roses, flying solo. It's just Dave along with Christina. But we're having a really good conversation about her jealous boyfriend and how he's disappeared. And Christina, I'll let you tell the story again. Just give me like the condensed version of what your boyfriend has been like and why you're on War of the Roses.
Sure. So he's been just crazy jealous for the last 8-9 months. Making up lies about my having, affairs with coworkers, just paranoid and super, super envious of anything I basically do and possessive. And then he kind of all of a sudden saw me looking at his phone, accused me of cheating on him and just left me.
But you have a feeling that he picked a fight on purpose because you hear about couples, and I've probably done this before too. It's like, you know what? I want to be mad at you. I'm going to pick a fight. And you got the idea that he picked a fight and left because he wanted to.
I think he met someone else. I don't think, otherwise it doesn't make any sense. If he didn't meet someone else, it just makes no sense.
Okay, and since then he's disappeared. He's gone, not answering phone calls or texts or anything like that.
Right.
All right. Here's what we can do. If we call him, hopefully he'll look at this strange number on his phone and go, oh, I wonder who that is, because he knows it's not going to be you. He'll answer it. I'll pretend that I'm from the cable company, and I'm going to give him a little survey. If he answers the survey, I'm going to send him a dozen roses. And then what I want you to do, we're going to try to trick him a little bit here, is I want you to be the woman who asks him who he wants to send roses to and what he wants the note to say. Okay. So when I talk to him, I'll be like, hey, thanks. If he takes the survey and he falls for this, I'll say, hey, great job, TJ. I'm going to hand you off to our roses department. They're going to figure out, who you want to send them to and, where you went. We'll take care of that. And he'll be like, okay, then I'll pretend to put you on hold. And then when you come back on the phone, I'll say, okay, here's our specialist who's going to handle this. Her, and I won't say a name. I'll say, here she is. You can take your order. So we'll see whether he catches on, kind of an evil trick, that he's actually talking to you. Okay?
Okay.
Hello.
Hi, I'm looking for TJ, please.
That's me.
TJ, I'm sorry to bother you. Hope I'm not interrupting anything too important. My name is Max, and I'm calling from... Have you got a quick minute?
All
Okay.
right, like just a minute, though.
I promise I won't take up too much of your time. We're actually doing something kind of cool with this week, where I basically have a chance to send flowers to anybody in the country that you choose if you will let me ask you a couple of questions about your service experience with... Well, great, TJ. That's great. Thanks for taking the time to do that. I told you it wouldn't take very long. I appreciate it. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn you over to our representative who will take your order for the flowers, and she'll take good care of you from this point. And I believe, give me 1 second, I'll connect to her, and then you'll be all set. It'll just take a minute to get those roses ordered, okay?
Yeah, okay. Great,
okay,
thanks.
Cool. And here you go, TJ. Have a great day, and here is our representative to take your order. Go ahead.
Cool.
Hello. Thank you so much for answering that survey. We really appreciate it.
Yeah,
Who
sure.
would you like to send flowers to today?
Amy.
Amy. And do you have a note that you'd like to attach with the flowers?
Let's say each time gets better than the last time, and then if you can put like a winky face at the end of that, that'd be great too.
Yeah, actually, we're not going to be able to put a winky face at the end of it.
Oh, okay, that's all right. Then you can just send it without the winky face. I wasn't sure if you could do that or not.
Yeah, no, we can't do that. And this isn't the moron. This is Christina. Who the hell is Amy? And why are you trying to send flowers to her?
What's
wrong with you?
Let me help you understand this a little bit, TJ. We're going back to the guy you were just talking to. I mean, she's right. There's no flowers, and it's not the cable company, and there will be no winky face, unfortunately. This is Dave Ryan over at KDWB, and Christina called me to call you to see if we were going to send flowers to. If you could send flowers, who would you send them to? And she's been suspicious ever since you kind of disappeared from her life about a week ago, whether you were with someone new, and you sent the flowers to Amy, not Christina. So it sounds like maybe you've moved on from the whole Christina relationship?
Christina, you are insane. Why would you even think that having someone else call me and try to trick me into something is a good idea? Like, why would you even do that?
That you were with someone else, and I just got it.
Well, how? This is just you being the same, controlling, jealous, manipulative person you have been for the last 6 months.
Me? Insane.
Yeah.
Controlling, manipulative. You're describing yourself.
Oh, I am. I'm not. No wonder you think that everyone in your life walks away from you. You push them away.
You're the one who's been manipulating me and controlling me and possessive over all of my stuff. You won't even let me go to work. You won't even let me see my friends. You follow me places. You listen in on my conversations.
Psycho.